Okay, so I think we'll all be able to relate to this one a little bit. Okay, it's called ghost mode. We all have our favorite emojis. My top two most used, the smiley face and the grimacing face. Also, the tears of joy, the tears of sadness deserve honorable mentions. We don't want those feelings to be left out, to be hurt, right? The emojis I try to avoid using: the knife, the gun, and the ghost. Sometimes I wish our lives were just like the Emoji Movie. But emojis replace emotions. Texting replaces face-to-face conversations. We are all ghosts in a deserted ghost town. That's what technology makes us become, especially with Snapchat Map, a virtual globe where if we zoom in close enough, we can literally see our friends as roads. Shout out to the camera emoji for helping the Snapchat feature make stalking acceptable. Why is putting yourself on ghost mode the only way we can not allow people to see our locations? People to see our locations. Why is it even called ghost mode? Why is it even called ghost mode? Are we all ghosts if we're not tuned into social media? Cheers to the green, nauseated face emoji with not only Snapchat, but Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, online involuntary manslaughter, the Carter Roy case. A woman encouraged her boyfriend to commit suicide via Facebook Messenger. Roy became a ghost whose grave was his cell phone. And with help from the emoji of the face screaming in fear, what are humans turning into? Zuckerberg, the devil to his own destiny? What is this world becoming? Here's to the angry face emoji. We are too sucked into our virtual realities. Why can't we even have fun outside anymore with our phones? Whatever happened to the board game Clue? Who murdered face-to-face communication? It definitely wasn't done in the kitchen with poison by Miss Scarlet, right? A ghost, a social media site. They're interchangeable thanks to the devil emoji. With technology trying to kill us, it's like we want to be ghosts. And we see the emojis of the Statue of Liberty, the cars, the cities full of stars, which actually gives us a false sense of reality because we can't really see the stars at night in cities. We need emojis to document all of it, and if that part of our lives isn't even private anymore, then what is? So, please welcome Jesse Ramos.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Jesse Ramos. I'm from Providence, Rhode Island. Went to Roger Williams with Leah, and I teach the poetry workshops there. And has anybody ever heard of AS220 in Providence? A member over there. Do some poetry slams there. I write a lot of stories and short poems. So I'm gonna read a little story poem I have here. There's something about the alcohol at the airport because I always end up super emotional before takeoff. It must run in the family. My sister and I were two very large beers deep when we walked back to my mom with flushed cheeks. She had already got like 4 tuna sandwiches, 11 bags of chips that she couldn't afford just so we'd have something to chew while we flew through space. I'm more of the quiet and reflective drunk, but Lon, my sister, reflective. Yes, maybe. As we looked for our seats in the antline aisle, my mom had already put back a tuna, and her neck pillow on that probably had some sort of lavender aroma. Lon was not doing too great. Teary-eyed, she shouted from the back of the plane to Mom and I, "If we don't make it, meet under the big tree." I didn't think about it that much when I was 13 because I was thinking about everything else. Basketball, a crush, my body odor, why they closed the Wendy's next to my house. Now I think about it all the time. Before flight, during, after, in dreams. Ramos is a surname of Spanish and Portuguese origin. It means branches or dweller in a thickly wooded area. It only makes sense that my dad lives next to a farm, that my dad works at a farm. It only makes sense how devastated we are at the thought of us being uprooted from the earth. I've been thinking about this big tree thing a lot. My mom tells me to try and draw it, but I never have enough colors on my palette. You know, life gets pretty boisterous for a pack that prefers birds and breezes. When I was very small, my sisters told me they were going to get stoned by the water. and I sobbed because I thought they were getting rocks thrown at them for being bad. And now when I get stoned, I feel like I'm swallowing rocks, thinking of them getting older, thinking of mom and dad getting older, thinking of scissors to roots, thinking of a wilting orchid, thinking of snow in October, of numbered seasons, of missed calls, of stillness. Whenever I drop someone off at the airport or get dropped off at the airport now, I cry. To think of someone bare above the clouds, to think who I've left on the ground, heavy like plains, like water, like yesterday. We are weathered, afraid of walking into the woods with less footsteps than the year before. At home, we stir resilience, hope, and sorrow until we meet under the big tree. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Jesse. That was amazing, as always. So give him a round of applause again. We'll hear more from him later. So, as I said, I'm going to switch up the order a little bit. If you registered online to do more than one poem, if you could start with one poem, and that, if you could start with one poem, that would be great. And then later on, you can do more. I think we're going to start with Joyce Wilson. Are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it okay if you start? Are you ready? Okay, cool. Please give her a round of applause.
I'm not really a slam poet. I taught English at Boston University in Suffolk and kind of a traditionalist. I have to read my poems. I was head of South Shore Poets. I ran poetry readings in the public libraries in all the towns on the South Shore in the 90s. And this September 30th, I'm having a big reunion of all these poets here. Saturday, September 30th, from 2 to closing time, 4:45. We have 16 poets signed up to read so far, and there's also an open mic, so I invite you to come back. A couple of years ago, I had Lyme disease, and I wrote this poem to a deer tick. Dear tick, how little time you took to set your wick beneath my skin and my leech's backwash lick. Had I but known you'd knocked, disguised as my old chum, suspicion might have clocked your stealthy progress. From the deer, whose blood secretes its strain, to your own stash. Gift of spirochetes, your calling card a rash. On me, the one you picked. Suffice to say, I'm ticked.
Thank you. That was great. I loved that. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing. So up next, is Dina Dre here? Yeah, are you ready to perform? Thank you.
Probably should have pulled this up before.
It's okay. Take your time.
All right. So while I'm finding my poem. So I lived in Hawaii for 9 years. I'm originally from Scituate. I came back after my kids were born, my Hawaiian souvenir babies. There's one right there, his name's Kaikua. And before I had my kids, I did a lot of poetry in Hawaii, and I haven't for a long time, so and I just got this phone, so I can't find where my notes are. Okay, there. So I wasn't really sure what to do, because I have a lot of poems, but not a lot that I've read recently, so I'm gonna go with one. It doesn't have a name, but I was gonna preface it with more stuff, but I don't know what to say, so I'm just gonna read it. And I'm gonna skip over some parts. There are children present. I am biracial, a mixture between black and white, and although I cherish every shade in between the two, I am tired of people asking me, are you? Are you like half and half? Well, yes, I am. I'm half sunshine, half cloud of doom, but always notice when I walk in a room, I'm half jazz, half blues, half old school funk, half new school groove, half passive, half protest, half moving on, half in regress, half sinner, half repentful, half gracious, half resentful, half realist, half dreamer, half honest, half schemer, half crazy, half sane, half flamboyant, half plain, half ebony, half ivory, half not enough, half more than plenty, half disciplined, half defiant, half dependent, half self-reliant, half supportive, half hater, half for now, half for later, half superwoman, half supernatural, half fictional, half factual, half perfection, half flawed, half refined, half raw, half clumsy, half grace, half body, half face. Half the time I'm growing, half the time I'm shrinking, half the time I'm above water, and half the time I'm sinking, but always thinking. Why is it necessary for people to try to define me, not by my characteristics, but by my racial statistics? What are you mixed with? How do you identify? Well, if you're asking which color do I deny, I'd have to say gray. Because I illuminate tones that are blinding, that would cause you to stop, pause, and rewind to me as you try to define me. I radiate heat like a deep blue core of a flame, and I never reflect two colors quite the same. So the universe can glow by my iridescent, complex complexions as I mirror reflections that would destroy perceptions. But I'm only made up of two halves. So if you look at me and see half black, half white, half absence of color, half absence of light, then I guess you're half wrong and you're half right. Because I'm half midnight, half shooting star blazing. Half of what you think of me deeply affects me, and the other half doesn't even faze me, because I'm half Amazon and half amazing. What are you?
Whoa, that was pretty amazing. Yeah, amazing, exactly. Wow, okay. So up next is Chris Zaremba. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Are you here? Yes, you are. Okay, you ready? Okay. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris Zaremba. Some of you may know me from Angel of the Harbor, Christmas book I wrote about Scituate Harbor last year. And I run the Duxbury Poetry Circle at the Duxbury Library. And I write all sorts of different types of poetry, and this is the closest I have to something that's slam. It's called Newfound Friends. And I don't know why I wrote this one. It just came to me at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I just had to get up and write. They leave you with just a backpack. You know not to look back. Back there where no one really wanted you. Back in foster care, where no one really cared for you. They only cared about the check that came each month on your behalf. So there you are, you're out on the street now, asking for a handout, asking for a helping hand, thinking about raising your hand in a classroom where no one wants to sit next to you. You don't even have a pen, but you notice the teacher penning a note to the principal about the girl who needs help, needs a meal, needs a bath, needs someone to care for her, watch over her, save her. So you don't go back there again. You don't want to face the stairs again or the other children's words that offend. Don't want to face the principal with his principles, because you know he will put you back in the system, back in the care of another foster parent who is just waiting for another check. You sleep in an alley under the warmth of some cardboard. It's dark, it smells, and you feel like you've been left in hell with the cries of feral cats searching for a bit of food, and the cries of your own stomach wishing you had a bit of food that didn't come today. The food pantry wouldn't give you any because you had no papers to present to prove you were a resident. So you went to the church to see if they were offering a meal for the homeless, but you were home alone. No meals today, no meals on wheels, no bicycle wheels down a suburban street, returning home to find a treat. Find a meal, home, not homeless, not helpless, not alone. No telephone, no one to call. You're standing there in the church looking at the beauty, looking at Christ on the cross who's keeping you off the street and warm for a few minutes until it's time to lock the doors. But you thought they always kept the doors unlocked for lonely souls looking to free their souls of the soulless acts they might have performed. Performed just to quiet their crying stomachs and crying babies. Quiet their newfound friends, those crying feral cats back at home in the alley.
That was also amazing. These are all so good. I'm so happy you all came out tonight. Thank you for sharing, Chris. So up next, I think is A. Adams Elias. Is that how you pronounce it? Yes? Okay. Would you be willing to go next? Sure. Thank you.
Tough act to follow, eh? It's A. Adams Alias. You would be able to guess it. And this is my great-grandfather's toes. My great-grandfather, Joseph, at the beach, in his three-piece, the jacquard owner and Jew, his bunion toes deep in sand, his knuckle cane poking fun hooked into the bathing costume belt of his best friend, getting portly, kindly Otto, the engineer and German. Only in Cape May, New Jersey, only on a New World shore, could Otto and Joseph dare this. Minds tethered in business, innovation coupled to industry, hearts tangled in family, only son married to daughter, standing abreast, sunburnt, defiant, barefoot, and grinning. And I recognize that grip, that grin, those toes. I recognize Joseph's foolish goodwill as my own. And so, I am cut from the same velvet, but how could I have missed his faith, this that planted Joseph and Otto so dauntlessly close in the sand, at the edge of the same abyss.
Wow, that was really good. Thank you. Did you notice the silence at the end? Everyone was just thinking about your poem. It was really good. Thank you. So up next, Grace All. Are you ready to perform? Thank you.
Hey guys. All right, so this one is called 2 a.m. How have I gone this long? Downplaying a song that managed to rip off my favorite thong, get my intentions wrong, attributing me as another tag-along in the tentative throng of peoples, primarily females, who prolong the thought that they belong to your rotating selection of spring fawn that appeared apparently and allegedly the moment I was gone on your manicured front lawn, waiting in line to polish their pink manicures on your taken longing for your embrace, giving up on a God's grace of a coy chase, for a chance to debase morals more easily obtained by shaming their memories erase, replacing dignity drained and recently regained by training self-blame to sustain the constraints of a contained exchange of love restrained to mess with the body and not the brain, watching pain inflame in attempts to explain that it's like, not even like I like him, so if he doesn't like me back, it's like, okay, right? Enough. How has it not infuriated me to hear half-assedly, repeatedly, that you smiled slow and thoughtfully, interrupting my sleep only to tell me sleepily that, hey, lovely, you're so cuddly and high above me because you do it like you love me. I loved you. But by nightfall's leave and morning's breeze, push came to shove, and you shoved me to the curb to preserve what you thought that I deserved. Yet you, sir, are shockingly the least twisted of the disturbed, because 'twas I who put up with you. Never hesitating to waste intimate moments to state, let's get off quickly, thinking you could uplift me so long as I blew you swiftly away from the reality that pleading, babe, get up off me. You rubbed it off on me as if my responsibility was making you happily unaware of the scars you produced in my tissue. Taking a likable girl, adding complexes to my issues, deciding you were most expert of judges, telling me to lay here and love this, so shove it, my beloved. I deserve touch me, say nothing till morning love. I am not some estrogen-ridden prop to hide beneath covers. In fact, I discovered I am woman and I'm prize. I'm above this. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
So this is actually the last poet of the first half, and then I think what we'll do is we'll take a couple minutes and you can get up and stretch, and then Jesse will come back out and perform a couple pieces. And if you want to sign up, if you decide to perform, there's a sign-up sheet over there. I know that Sophie and Megan were helping out with that, so I just also want to thank you for doing that. So I think, Jackie Thornton, are you ready to perform? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jackie. I haven't done something like this before. I did poetry slams with Leia in high school and my friend Rachel, and they were really fun, but it's been really cool listening to all of your poems. They're a lot more, like, I don't know, you guys are all grown-ups. It's really cool to hear a grown-up experience, and I don't know, it's been awesome. So thank you everyone who's gone so far, and I'm happy to close out this half. I found that after a year of college, a lot of my poems were like depressing or like wicked weird. So I wrote this one after I woke up at like 7 at my friend's house, and it was just like wicked bright. So I wrote this. It was like March 23rd. So. Whole particles filter through a clear window. The not unkind light drops in, unimpeded, moving at once impossibly fast, yet immobile. Hung in midair, this room and the promises it holds remain untethered and suspended in the frosty frame. Does the world bound forward, reaching and stretching on to the edges of infinity? So one would be sure of, for it is impossible to know time save for the slow and constant rise and fall, a body in arresting and undulating motion. Still, move, and the air runs like molasses over the skin. The brain's unrelenting hum, but it's still. Now, feel a heartbeat call through the spaces between, rushing particles dropping past the burning frame. Its steadying whispers wish my mind to be still.
So right now I'm going to introduce our guest poet, Jesse Ramos. He's going to perform a couple things, couple poems. So yeah, please welcome Jesse.
Hello again, everybody. I hope you got some good snacks. Did you get some good snacks?
Yes.
I got some pretzels and some pink Starbursts, if anybody was wondering, and a bottle of water. So, everything's well. All right, I'm gonna read probably two really short ones and then one regular-sized one, and then I'll be gone. And thank you all for having me here. It's my first time in Scituate ever. I went to TK O'Malley's and I ate a chicken sandwich. good chicken sandwich. Very good chicken sandwich. All right, that was it, chicken and a beer. I used to think being a writer meant coffee shops and chamomile tea, coddling sunrises wrapped in fleece, fried egg on a bolo in a city of restless dream chasing, cleaning and editing like placing athletic socks in empty hampers, cataloging my thoughts and tragedies. But now it has become stingingly apparent to me that to write is napkins while taking a poop, 2 a.m. sleeplessness, lunch break at work, leaving mid-shower to type a soggy note in my phone, car sick on the public transit, one eye on my notebook and the other on my students, heartbroken for everyone, disgusted by my own nausea, exhausted by my own nausea, fear of everything, disguising my hurt as calmness while my confidant is parallel lines and pens I stole from the library, and this makes a lot more sense. I wrote a little poem about my sister the other day that I think you might like. I haven't showed it to her yet because I don't know if she'll like it. So you can tell me if I can show it to her. All right. My sister Alana is a knife that diced boulders for fun. 5 years old in the library, she ripped through children's books that were scribbled in, proclaiming, "Whoever drew on this is the neighborhood pit bully, tough like tire swing rope burn. Any mother lover who tried to hurt me, lawn is sharp like fox teeth, chew through prey, no, predators to keep her family fed. Eyes on the prize open locksmith, split skulls of those who talk toxic. Lawn is hurt, she is metal, she is the dark green fleece blanket that you use year round. Lawn is some kind of love warrior from space." That's mine. This will be my last poem. I used this one in the Providence Poetry Slam last year. I work in the special needs field, so this is a poem about my students and just kind of describing our experience together. In response to people telling me that teaching young adults with special needs must require a lot of patience and be very rewarding, no, I'm not patient, they are not my patients, and I do not deserve any type of reward for hanging out with my friends. At 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, it is Groundhog Day in the most incredible way. There is no possibility of boredom or time to overanalyze things in the kingdom of wizards. Before I've touched my tongue to coffee, I have already been asked the most real things like, will there be a blizzard today? How many times have you seen Shrek 2 on DVD? Why don't you cut your hair? Do you have a son? Are you in the NBA? Are you romantic? Do you believe in dolphins? Do you want to come to Florida with my family? Why is that ugly Trump guy always on the TV? Ashley won't talk to me. David is still only answering questions in Lord of the Rings quotes like, certainty of death, small chance of success, what are we waiting for? We learn how to shake hands and say nice things and clip our fingernails and collectively try to understand the things we feel. We learn to fold clothes and make hundreds of tacos, ride the public transit to every damn corner of the galaxy. On Fridays, we go to museums and malls and bowling alleys and beaches, and everybody's a champion because sometimes it feels good to do what the other kids are doing. On Wednesdays, we eat pizza with the college kids, fill our cups with soft serve ice cream, Powerade, chicken nuggets, marshmallows, even though I meant to mention maybe not trying those things today. We get sick to our stomachs, we lose our wallets, we sob about everything, very strange things. We dance, we sing our hearts out, we listen to swears and rock and roll on the radio, Christmas music in spring, panda, 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 because it feels good to do what all the other kids are doing. When I drop my students at home, most of their days are over and mine might just be beginning. So the emotional 7-hour explosion of all things under the sun is absolutely justified. I'm not patient. Sometimes I show up hungover and sad and tired, negligent, and can't help them like I should be. They are patient for taking 10 minutes to put their IDs back in their wallets with hands that shake as fast as their minds move, for fighting the worries of landslides and nuclear war and common colds, for sitting through 3-hour community college classes, learning things people told them they couldn't. They are not my patients. They are poets, singers, black belts, movie critics, magicians, computer programmers, lovers. I am not patient, unfortunate, and they are beautiful. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for having me. Lovely time. Enjoy the rest of the night.
So I'm not reading a poem, but it sort of sounds like a poem. A dark gray Ford Explorer has its hazards lights on. If that plate is you, 645 NVZ, by all means, get up and go see about it.
Thank you, Jesse, for performing. We appreciate it, so thank you for that. I actually have a list of jokes here that I wrote for this that are like really cheesy jokes, and Jesse wanted me to read one of them. So I'll do that for him. It's really bad, but he liked it. So, okay, so it's what kind of things do cows like reading? And it's a catalog. So I don't know. He like cattle, like cows, like I don't know. He just wanted me to read that. Okay, but anyway, so this next. One more, okay. This one is, what kind of tea is too cold to drink?
What kind?
Reality, like tea. That one, yeah. So this next half, we actually have a lot more people signed up, which is great, more people did. So I'm gonna start it off with another poem, and then we'll have anyone else who wants to perform, will perform after me. Okay, so yeah, this is very recent. So yeah, I think you guys will like this one. It's been days, and I am still heartbroken that Chris Pratt and Anna Faris separated. Legit had tears pouring out of my eyes as I read Chris's Facebook post. No joke, I actually did cry. But why? They were legitimately the ultimate hashtag relationship goals. The way they looked at each other, oh, that made me believe in love. TBH, I think I'm just as heartbroken as they are about their relationship. 8 years of marriage, they gave love hope. And now hope seems to be lost. If they can't stay together, who can? This may be as big as Brangelina's breakup. Their separations are devastations. When my therapist asked what I wanted to talk about, I said, this may seem really stupid, but I'm actually really upset that Chris and Anna broke up. She asked me if there was a deeper meaning why I got so upset. Their relationship tends to affect all our views on love, right? On TV, they always said the sweetest things about each other. I love their sense of humor, like the time when he learned how to French braid her hair, or the time she revealed that they both had a dead bug collection, which for God knows why we thought that was cute. But I wonder, why do we care so much about celebrity relationships when we don't even know them personally? We follow their lives when they don't even know us. Why do we call them by their first names like we're our best friends? Like they're our best friends. They are basically our role models, our heroes and our heroines. Movie stars give us an escape from reality. Actors get to become a character with a whole new personality, and we can live a different life through those individualities. Chris and Anna met on the set of Take Me Home Tonight, and he certainly did take her home, 2007 to 2017. But now they're separated from the media, separated from their relationship, separated from their fans, separated from their families. Unfortunately, they only guest starred in their own lives, never landing a lead role. Realistically, do those fairy tale endings ever even happen? We love these celebrities. We sometimes even worship them. And someday, let's hope and pray that one of them may have an ending that has a beautiful side, that isn't unqualified. Thank you. I don't know, I wrote that last night, so I just thought I'd read that. But yeah, so to start our second half, I think Kevin Palmer, are you here? Yeah? Do you want to go first? Thank you.
I am Kevin from Scituate. There we go. Grew up in Scituate, went to Scituate High School, live in Quincy now. I've been writing song lyrics and song parodies for about a year and a half. This piece is called Best Friend. It's undeniable how reliable my best friend always seems to be. When I'm in a bind or out of line, I always find you there for me. You have a knack to have my back when I have to deal with stressful stuff. There's no elsewhere, you're always there when the going's getting extra tough. You put everyone else ahead of yourself and never think twice about it. You lend an ear and volunteer to all that ask, I wouldn't doubt it. You find ways to relate, your timing is great. You always know how to make me laugh. At all times selfless, when I'm feeling helpless, you never seem to make a gaffe. In a state of confusion, you offer solutions. I always take the free advice. You never judge or ever begrudge. You always provide superb insight. Forever complimentary, extraordinary, exemplary, kind, warm-hearted, and true. Caring, loving, thoughtful, giving. The world needs more people like you.
Thank you. That was good. That was really good. Up next is Elizabeth Mooney here. Yeah, do you want to go next?
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Mooney. I'm a woman in recovery. I'm going to read a poem about where I was to where I am today. Not able to hear the whispered blessings and guidance from God, I've become deaf. I am driven by fear and false pride. Every day I face Satan and feel like the walking dead. Not able to see the beauty that is all around me, I have become blind. A prisoner in my own mind, my skull, the cell bars, my emotions are stuck behind. I'm bound and shackled to this addiction. It is the ultimate ruler, and I am its slave. When it's hungry, if not fed, with a pathway to recovery, will slowly dig me 6 feet under, dead in the grave. While my past keeps pulling me back, the present keeping me stuck. The future having me worried, not learning to take life a day at a time is truly detrimental to my process of recovery. Living for the next high, addicted to the lifestyle, knowing it will all end in disaster. Feeling like Pinocchio because I've allowed the drugs to take over, and now I'm a puppet, my soul sold to the devil. Self-willed, self-seeking, self-centered, pathologically lying, and my life I'm completely destroying. I'm hurting inside, strung out to the gills, my mind and body dangling from these strings, being conducted to do these crazy, deceitful, and manipulative things. My thinking process completely insane. The voice of my disease is Geppetto, the puppet master. I'm having a mental breakdown, making excuses, wedged in denial. Always on the defense, feeling prosecuted like a defendant on trial. I try to find someone to point fingers at, anyone but me is to blame. I feel so sick with all this self-inflicted pain, guilt, and shame. I don't want to look inside myself, so I put the focus on others so I don't have to feel. I want to be numb, and my way out is anything that takes me out of myself so I don't have to deal. But the realities of life, I ask myself questions like, what kind of person do I want to become? Where do I fit in? What is my purpose in God's plan? Will I be able to build a solid foundation, not one built in sand? Sorry. Can I let go of the control and let my higher power be in command? Today I'm aware I cannot do this alone and that I need to ask for God's helping hand. Surrender to His will. Praying for strength and guidance and finding the willingness to be open-minded. Open my eyes so that I may see that God's presence is always on my side. I'm paying attention and listening so that I may hear God's wisdom speak through others so very clear. I'm walking by faith so that I may work through my issues with fear. Finding that acceptance is my key to freedom, but freedom is not free. It comes with choices that lead to decisions so that I may live responsibly. Every day I'm making a conscious decision to put my knowledge into action, knowing that life knowing that in life recovery works only through understanding and application. Love myself first and understand that love is letting others' values exist. Finally, I must comprehend and learn that I cannot have what I want when I want it. It will only come in God's time, because that they are things I must earn.
Wow, that was really good. Thank you. It's a very important topic. I really appreciated that, so thank you. Okay, so up next we have Eric Palmer. Are you here? Yes? You want to go? Thank you.
Hello. I wrote this after 10 days of silence. It wasn't love that filled the silence or that space between our arms. It wasn't happiness or kindness, just a warm electric calm. Like the movement of a damselfly floating through the air, bumping into blades of grass, seemingly unaware. Testing the waters, he fumbles, not knowing what he'll find. Coming back to places now gone from his mind. Not the dragonfly almighty, whizzing through the sky. This little one he wanders, the mire he won't deny. There wasn't space between the blades, nor longing, wishing, craving. It was simply existing, continuously preparing. Silent in his procession, round about the world, wavering, faltering, a twisted path untold. That silence between fly and floating blade beautifully existed and forever stayed.
Wow, all of these poems are so amazing. I'm just so happy right now that you all came out to perform. So thank you for sharing. That was really good. Okay, so next, Kyle Gavin. Do you want to perform? Thank you.
How is everybody doing? My name's Kyle. I'd like to thank you. If you look over here, I'd like to thank you for holding this little shindig here. I think that it's a great opportunity for people to share their emotions and connect. And shout out my teacher right there from 5th grade. He's chilling. It's been a while. But I'd like to share this piece. I'm an artist. My name is Kemenai, but that's not my real name. This piece right here is called Let It Burn. It was all good but changed in the blink of an eye. Thought I had it mapped up, but now I'm picking up fries. Now can you tell from my eyes I had it with this 9 to 5, waking up to a mind full with schemes. I want to die. God, it's hard saying I'm alive. Can't blame myself for the thoughts that you gave me. Just need to recognize the man in the mirror just crazy. Never lazy, walk down this hell road, I don't know how to get back on the track, so I just killed tracks. In this art I killed cats on the wrong path, my homie stabbed his friend in the back. Took his girlfriend, stood there and just laughed. Influenced by rap, sex, drugs, and other bliss. Know my mama probably wish she gave birth to another kid. Family found dead, and why do I resort to this rage? And can it be tamed? Man, stop with the pain, go and let it burn. Just let it burn, just let it burn, just let it burn. Now look, inside their eyes they all shook. Time to rewind the times is like a book. In my mind lies crimes that's found inside a crook. I'm a stronger version of me. You all see I can flip raps and kick raps with ease. No use chasing the dream. If he begging please, get ready, flee the scene with said bet. Yes, I mean, sweet like nectarine, rather a tangerine. MCs can't step, get left or deceased. Perfect my craft till I'm the best believe. Yes, take a second and just the set sleeves. Whatever is the cause to let your mind flow free. Now Now back to the rap, attack with no gat. Hang in the alley with rats they call cats. Backtrack fast, you never know who's strapped. Boston, you already know where I'm at. Go and let it burn. Yeah.
I loved your performance of that. Thank you. That was awesome. Thank you. So yeah, next we have new page. We have a lot of people signed up, so this is good. It's a longer second half. Emily Fleming, are you here? Yes, would you like to perform it?
Hi, I'm Emily. I've never read or done anything like this, so thanks for having this and letting me perform. Okay. I loved you. I knew I loved you then, and maybe I should have told you, but here I am a year later, still scrambling to find the words to say. Sometimes I open my mouth and fill my lungs with air, about to tell you. I start softly. But I feel unable to speak, so I fill the air with laughter, and I talk too much because I don't like the silence, and I don't want to let myself slip into telling you that I love you. Because those words don't fit or sit lightly in the air that fills up around us in the car, sometimes I think maybe if I rolled down the window, the words could just escape. Maybe I could just let the I love you slip off my tongue, but then those words wouldn't matter. Because it wouldn't be you I was telling, it would just slip into the wind and the sun that we were watching set. I need to choke on the words, they need to sit in the closed air, being inhaled and exhaled and chewed up and spit out and recognized, because words like I love you don't sit lightly among us. Thank you.
Wow, all of these poems, oh, they're so good. Thank you. That was good. So next, Sam Plume, do you want to go next? Okay, thanks.
Hey guys, that was dope. Burning, definitely burning all the time, like a perpetual state of. Do you guys know Ghostbusters? Or not? No, I'm sorry, I messed up. Not Ghostbusters. Goosebumps. You know Goosebumps? All right, like Choose Your Own Adventure. Do you guys want to hear a poem about laundry or about almond milk? Almond milk. All right. Everyone say almond milk. Who wants almond milk? Say laundry. Who wants laundry? Wow. Okay, yes, almond milk it is. I apologize. It's gonna take me 1 second here to pull it up. Should really organize this better. This is really cool. This is the first time I've performed in a long time. Also the first time I performed sober in forever. Not intentionally, just I was driving, so try to be responsible. Yeah. If I was gonna give this one a title, it would be called 20% discount, or Whole Foods or something. I'm nervous. I miss buying you unsweetened vanilla almond milk. Buying us. I miss getting the 365 brand and not the Almond Breeze, even though it was 65 cents less, even though it was not a big deal, and Almond Breeze isn't organic and doesn't taste quite as good anyway. I miss buying us unsweetened vanilla almond milk and eating it with pastries and cookies that you brought home from the cafe, or just plain drinking it and seeing the childish delight that came into your face as you drank your sips and gulps, and I hear you say, "Oh my gosh, it's so good, Dee Dee." And replicating the same thought. And think about replicating. Replicating every happy moment I get with you and the chance to tell you I love you, and replicating my love for you to the moon and back and slingshot engaged, timing the perfect orbital acceleration so my love light speed of light beams past to you don't know where beyond the edges of the universe. I miss going to the store with my 20% discount and thinking with you it was such a treat to buy us unsweetened vanilla almond milk. With pennies in our pockets, my hand on your dime ass, and a $2 bill dating back from the year 2014, month of April, ripped in half between each of our hearts. I hate us being ripped apart. I don't know if you know where your half of the bill went, but he's right here, with yours, holding the missing piece in his hand, like, here, I have it, take it back. I can see all you have left is a little corner. I see your face around every corner. I miss buying us unsweetened vanilla almond milk.
That was great, thank you. So up next, this name just says Eric, comma, a dream. So I don't know, are you? Oh, that is you. Oh, that's you. Do you want to go again? Yeah. I didn't know your last name.
Yeah, so this one's a dream, so if you want to close your eyes, that's cool. You can be comfortable here. A long darkness before I awoke. Blackness became light, with the sun still below the horizon. I watched as my lingering dreams slipped away in fragmented feelings from a past world, ebbed with a new tide of sensations brought on by this world I now saw. Everything is heightened when you're sleeping among the timber. A sound of a twig snap is a tree falling. Crickets, an orchestra. A small breeze brushes our hammock, and we are adrift at sea, swinging from the ropes, lurched by gusts. Waves crash over the bow. Little rises in the night have blended with the magical dream world, and everything is real. Have we not all been here before? Waking up with longing and a lover in your arms. Oh, to be back at sea, where the gulls circle and greet your arrival to land. Here the birds are first to rise. A solitary call in the night builds crescendos before dawn, greeting the night passengers, rousing all creatures of the earth, sharp and beautiful, like the cold that surrounds. It penetrates deep, just as something that is there, temporary. For now, the sun is rising, the world is turning. She is watching it, and I turn my gaze over into space and see rays of light marching through the forest floor, hiding behind leaves and descending from treetops, showered in golden light, floating adrift in a sea of green. I watch the sunrise through her illuminated hair, running my hand through it. It smells of days on the trail, sweet sweat and summer rain. That late afternoon shower that you hear before its drops reach the ground. Their fall arrested by the canopy above. Soon the drops roll off the leaves above, land on last year's leaves below. The leaves, the pollen, the earth. Oh, the beautiful smell of decay. Life returning to the ground, for now we float.
Thank you. That was really good. Again, thank you so much. So, Deb McNabb, are you ready to perform? Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. So this was a writing I did after I gave a prompt to a group of writers that came to my house. And the prompt was, I've sat some time trying to be still. It is so much harder than it seems. And this is what I wrote. My body stretches like a cat, yawning on an August afternoon. I feel every scratchy thread on the white sheet that has moistened its creases into my back. My feet are spread and my tan arms extend over my head. Even if I wanted to pull these limbs back to center, I don't have energy to. How could there be so many memories, so many worries and thoughts playing over and over without a pause? Were a passerby to view me right now, They may smile at the bliss they thought surrounded the spread of limbs and curves. They would think that I had completely surrendered to the summer heat that had landed right on top of me. It landed all right, landed with the precision of a fly swatter on a lazy black housefly, but I am miles from bliss. I tell the thoughts to rest. I don't need to know the reasoning behind the closing of the coffee shop in town. I don't need to know if the beach stairs will be rebuilt after they were scattered like toothpicks in one of the many nor'easters that blew through last winter. I don't need to decide between mascarpone white or celery green for the spare room. I want to slow down. Maybe it's more like shut down. So I turn the speakers from the inside to the outside. The dog's breath is labored. The heat is trapped under her curled fur, and bits of sand irritate her belly. I hear her scratch, but quickly she gives up. I try to listen again, more deliberate this time. I hear them now, those island birds. They chatter incessantly, they argue, they gossip. On occasion, they actually sing. Listen, I plead with myself, try to find the song. It means I must be still. All of me must stop, even my thoughts. Finally, I hear a lone call, high-pitched and sweet. A pretty girl bird with feathers colored like the hidden berries that line the beach path. I'm sure that's what she looks like, fluffy and confident. 2 notes, a pause, 3 notes. She's not the loudest, but her song escapes the thick air that she shares with the hundreds of blackbirds that dart from cottage yards and oak trees. She sings again, the same song. She doesn't tire of it, nor does she sing to entertain. She's not even aware of her song being heard, but yet she sings. I hear you, I say out loud. I hear you.
Thank you. That was really calming. I loved that. That was good. So up next, I think, Grace, you wanted to perform again? Okay, Grace All.
Hi, everybody. Like Leah introduced me, my name is Grace All. So just a little bit about me. I went to Roger Williams University after growing up here in Scituate and graduating from Scituate High. And that's sort of where I discovered poetry slams in general after meeting Jesse, one of the first days there on campus. And so it's been a long journey, and it's definitely become a part of my identity. It's something I really love sharing with other people. So here's a poem back from college a few years ago. Remember, kids, the most important sin of the day is breakfast. Dang it, I broke my fast and now I have to reach past where my toothpaste reaches before it digests. My toothbrush becomes a magical wand. To purge, noun, an act of removing by cleansing oneself from some stigma or charge, but we just called it empty. Or is it hungry? I can't remember. I'm too hungry. I can't think when I'm hungry. I need to change. I mean charge. Actually, I need to change. Except now, we girls can't even get changed in the same room without shooting off dirty looks faster than our little white lies like, so you agree? You think you're really pretty. Our generation has raised daddy's little mean girls with backstabbing tendencies to judge the bone densities of their sisters, to impress unsuitable misters, becoming less like friends and a little bit more like blisters. We emerge discouraged and emotionally damaged by a contradiction that daddy wants to give us the world splurge, while mommy reminds us we must register the urge to let our thigh gap merge, so we submerge our heads completely to blot out the waterlogged lies we've been drinking with supplements that suppress verbs like to want, desire, need, eat, and we live on the verge of I'm fine and I'm full, both meaning nearly the same thing. But who impregnated our minds with a seed that we need to remedy the water weight we gain while we bleed for a fear that man may see a woman who is more than a mere sliver of her self-worth? Fashion trends are now mandatory, body types aim to be fragmentary, and friendships have become predatory. Picture this, noon p.m., comments, spending lunch dates in the lavatory, ensuring she fits into some category full of crop tops and skinny jeans, worn by women who treat meals like a temporary stay in purgatory, bloated bellies full from the surge of six celery sticks that stick into their mind side as the mirror mocks their curved lines. Pockets full of meaty bone hug and love handles covered in denim, so love me gets suffocated by jeans that weren't meant to fit them. Are any of you tired of being one of the true few to stare into the depths of you and say, you are beautiful too? So what if your so-called girlfriends would prefer you not to stand out but build yourself in? We are supposed to fill our laced lungs with the air that sustains our being. Why are we bred to suck in or sink down for the fear of taking up more space constitutes that you are lesser? Some days I hate myself for wanting a waistline made of delicate wicker, but placing my anger on anything but the bigger picture won't make me happier. Putting her down won't sure make you prettier, and hating that girl for being skinny sure as hell won't make you thinner. Sorry for swearing, Leah. But thank you. Or was it shrink me? Shrink me. That sounds like what my subscription to society says I'm supposed to want. So yes, shrink me and shrink wrap my casket while you're at it, because if all goes well, that will be too baggy for me too. Thank you.
Thank you. I love hearing her poems live because I've only seen them on video, so it's kind of cool to like actually hear them. But yeah, so thank you. Up next, Dina, would you like to perform again? I see you're on the list again. Okay, thank you.
So I wasn't going to do another one, but my son requested this. This is his favorite poem. These poems have been awesome. You guys are crushing it. And I went to Scituate High School too, and I don't remember anybody, so I must be old. And this poem, like, these guys have just been killing it, and it's like, I love the energy. This one is supposed to be funny, so feel free to laugh. Right now, I'm thinking about you like crazy. Like, hands think about holding, and arms think about folding, and minds think about not thinking, but knowing. I'm thinking about you like feet think about socks, and socks think about shoes. I'm thinking about you like rock and metal think about screaming, and blues thinks about rhythm, and hip hop thinks about who knows. Like, gardeners think about hose. Like, I'm thinking about you like tops think about spinning, and rocks think about sitting, and cops think about arresting people. I'm thinking about you like people think about a clock 5 minutes before their shift ends. I'm thinking about you like A thinks about being with C, and B thinks about seeing D, and E effing G, and H I-ing J. I'm thinking about you like white and black think about making gray on a paint palette. I'm thinking about you like night thinks about making day in the morning, like rain clouds think about pouring. I'm thinking about you like math class thinks about being boring. I'm thinking about you like bugs think about grass, and thugs think about grass, and students think about class, and ladies think about class, and lower middle class people think about flying first class to places they've never been. I'm thinking about you like pilots think about the horizon, and clouds think about the wind, and the wind thinks about the trees, and teenage boys think about the birds and the bees, and bees think about making honey, and honey, I'm thinking about you like crazy. I'm thinking about you like rich people think about making money, and broke people think about making money. And when I'm thinking about you, the world makes sense. So let me go change. I'm thinking about you when I'm getting dressed, because when I look at myself in the mirror, you're the only one I'm trying to impress. I'm thinking about you like boats think about floating, and paddles think about rowing, and poets think about flowing. I'm thinking about you like bankers think about loaning, and renters think about owning, and stoners think about throwing rocks. I'm thinking about you like keyboards think about keys, and keys think about unlocking locks. Like Goldilocks still thinks about bears, and bears think about being cool. And microwaves think about being hot. Like kids think about breaking rules, and targets think about getting shot. I'm sitting here not trying to get you off my mind. I'm thinking about you like
Numbers think about adding, and cripples think about standing, and I'm thinking about standing up and walking out so I can find out what you're doing and what you're thinking about. But you're at work right now, so I'll just text you. I'm thinking about you. Send.
That was great. Thank you. That was awesome. So we have 2 people left. And if anyone else wants to perform, I think there might be time for 1 or 2 more if anyone else wants to sign up. But so right now, Chris, are you ready to perform again? Thank you.
Hi again. So my late husband was a blues musician, Walter, but everybody called him Bear. And if any of you have ever been to the Mount Hope Coffee House, he started it. It's called What It Might Have Been. He sang, I just want to make love to you. I thought he always would. What you think and what it is and what it might have been walks out the door and can't come back. Back against the wall, walling off what should have been. Wailing at the wall, wondering why. Wind, wailing at the tide coming in at midnight. Midway between what is and what you thought and what it might have been. Midnight dreams, midnight stars, starry eyes, a star is born, a star in his own mind singing, I just want to make love to you. Love me do, love me in the night, love in vain. Love me good, love me bad. Bad boy twinkle in his eye, eyeing me. Eyes staring back in the shadow of the moonlight. In the shadow of time, shadow of the car lights, shadow of my love. Wondering why I thought he would always be singing love songs, blues songs, happy tunes, tear jerkers. Tears flowing down my face. Have to face it, face the facts. What you think and what it is and what it might have been, waiting for you when you least expect it. Expect what it might be, accepting what it is. Sometimes it just walks out the door expecting to come back, but life takes a turn. Turns you on, turns you off, turns you upside down, and turns its back on you. Now it's my turn. Turn it up, tune it up, take it out, take notice, take notes. Take it or leave it. What it is, what you thought it would be takes a turn. One way, no U-turn, no way out, figure it out. It's just a figure dreaming, it's just a figure in a dream singing, I just want to make love to you. Love it or leave it be. It will never be what you thought or what you thought it might have been.
Thank you. I love your poems. Thank you. So our last poet of the night is Hannah Weinberg. So yeah, get for her.
Yeah, I wanted to be last so that I could back out, but apparently I didn't do that. So I don't know how to do slam poetry, so I just brought this. Rain, rain, come again. Comfort those who need a friend. Hide the tears of grieving faces. Don't leave behind any traces. Rain, rain, don't run away. Comfort those who have to stay. Kids so young with eyes so old, forever stuck out in the cold. Rain, rain, don't make a fuss. Comfort those who feel mistrust. Their mind's the hunter, their soul's the prey. Their bodies caught up in the fray. Rain, rain, don't cry too loud. Comfort those who can't make a sound. Silenced by their jealous peers, drowning in their social fears. Rain, rain, don't hide yourself. It's not a crime to like yourself. Though others may tease and push you around, know that joy will always be found. Rain, rain, don't stay too long, because I know that you are strong. Storms aren't forever, the clouds will fade, because the sun will always remain.
Thank you, Hannah. That was amazing. All of these poems we actually have a couple minutes. I don't know if anyone wants to perform another one. You want to perform another one? Okay, of course, yes. Come on up.
They're short. So I live in Marshfield, just across from Hummerock. And I promised my son I'd read this one, because it's really a portrait of him. You guys stand up here with me to demonstrate who you are. Inside a mermaid's purse. My son, Zeke, found a mermaid's purse on the beach, on a field trip to Fourth Cliff among tidal pools. Bible black and pinstriped and protean, he brought home its name and likeness and told me that inside were strange fishes' tiny eggs and dramas involving fantastic cars and dance parties to Beatles B-sides and addition to multiplication word games and dreams about things that only God knows and friends made at foreign playgrounds and Uncle Joe and mango ice cream with sprinkles and Jupiter and its moons and their properties explained and speculations describing every eventuality. On a field trip to Fourth Cliff, among tidal pools, my son Zeke found the rarest treasure of all.
Oh, that was so nice. Thank you for demonstrating. That was so cute. I don't know. But yeah, so did I get everyone on the list? Did everyone go who signed up? Did I miss anyone?
Do I get to go again?
Oh yeah, of course. You want to go again? Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Okay, great. Yeah, of course.
This is a true story. I have chickens, so I buy bales of straw occasionally, and once I bought one and cut the twine and it exploded. And so I wondered what was on its mind, and I wrote this poem from the point of view of the bale of straw. It's kind of a Robert Burns type. A bale of straw. My father was a field of rye, my mother hills of barley, who nourished me in wind and sky till I stood strong and gnarly. We thrived in plots beside the road according to the sower, but never thought that we'd be mowed by some old farmer's mower. Then by his baler we were shaped and squashed, each to a brick, and held with string and packed and taped, and offered up first pick. You paid the man who brought me here by force, strapped to his car. I loathed the fuel, the oiled gear, the asphalt, and the tar. Once you released the twine that made me what I became and warned me not to be afraid, I fathomed freedom's drum, and I exploded in the air as from the meadow torn. In dust that spread from stern to stair, to chaos was I born. You raked my bits and gathered me with promises and pardons, and then you'd said you'd make of me some mulch for all the gardens. You sifted out the lint and rot and tied me to a rail where I adorned the garden plot, exposed to wind and hail. Soon I began to plan revenge and as captain of my soul. When summer breezes come again, I would not play this role. I would infuse your broccoli with ragweed, mites, and scale. Remark my voice, remember me, I am not born a bale.
Thank you. I love your poems. Thank you. So I think we have one last person. If anyone, am I missing anyone? No? Okay, so Sam Plume again, and then I'll come back up and conclude. So yes, thank you.
I left my glasses up here, so I had to come back, I guess. Everyone's really awesome. So choose your own adventure. Well, how'd the last one go? Yeah, choose your own adventure. Gray sweater, no moon, kind of violent. iMovie, laundry, or my first non-state mandated psych appointment. I hear some gray sweaters. All right, let's do this. Okay, gray sweater. No moon, kind of violent. iMovie. Laundry. Oh, whoa. First non-state mandated psych appointment. Oh, okay, that versus laundry. All right, that totally beat it out. This one's pretty vanilla, so that's great. There you go. Yeah, this is just like, I think most poetry is just things that happen in real life, like sending your son a text or something. So I went to a psych appointment, and maybe it wasn't the first one, but he's just like, he stopped me mid-thought. This guy was okay, he was like smart, but he said, he stopped me mid-sentence, and he's like, "Can you describe her?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I leaned my head into the side of my hand, and then I just sent verbatim to this person. The psych asked me to describe you. It wasn't the first appointment. Went to my first appointment today with the psychiatrist, and we talked about everything, so of course our relationship, and he paused me for a second after that discussion, intro discussion, and asked me to describe you. I said, "Yeah, definitely," with a sigh as I let my head fall sideways into my hand, and I said clearly, "Well, Doc," I don't think I actually said Doc, "she's the prettiest girl in the world. She's fiercely intelligent, she's highly sensitive, she's so sweet, she's passionate, so passionate," this kind of sounds like how Trump talks, it's weird. "She's very convicted. Those convictions have their ups and downs, but it's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, she's just gorgeous. She's great, she's a really great girl. I mean, physically, she's beautiful. Long brown hair, brown eyes, she's tan, she's an athlete, very athletic, a little shorter than me. She's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, prettiest girl in the world."
Thank you. And why don't we give all the poets another round of applause? Thank you. So thank you all for coming. I just want to ask, I think Jesse wanted to say a few words to conclude. So thank you all for allowing me to host, and this was really fun.
So thanks everybody for coming tonight. Just another thank you to Leah and to Fax, and keep coming to the library and supporting these kinds of things, because you guys are why we're doing all of this. So thanks.